Good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm back from two retreats. One of them a crafting retreat. So the craft room looks like I've been on a crafting retreat and came home and unpacked, and I did. But I wanted to show you something a little different today. A lot of the crafting that I do is at my computer and not at my crafting desk. So I'm going to show you my screen and I'm going to show you a bunch of different things, ways you can take something that you've seen online that you really like, but you want to make it your own before you make it into a craft project. So I figured out today how to share my screen. So I'm going to do that with you. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to show you is this. And a friend sent this to me the other day. I'm just trying to figure out where I can see this. There we go. Okay. So 8 sentences I wished I read earlier in life. Even when you trust someone, keep some things to yourself. If you want to build something worthwhile, be ready for criticism. Your mental health, there it is. Your mental health is way more important than your career will ever be. You become an unstoppable force when you realize you can do it alone. Be okay with people not liking you. Most people don't even like themselves. That one's the best. I read one time that no matter what you do, 10% of the people won't like you for no reason. Absolutely no reason. And if you think about it, there's probably 10% of the people that you don't like for no reason. So let's keep that in mind that you're not going to please everybody. Okay, the next one. Not everything will, I think it's supposed to go, not everything will go according to plan. Be ready to adapt. You can always choose to be happy no matter what happens in your life. Being sad should never be an option. And don't waste your time stressing about things you can't control. So I really liked some of those. Some of those I was like, they need reworded a little bit. So what I did was Um, I typed all of those sentences and I just put them in a document where I had all of the text typed. And then I went to Chat GPT because I love Chat GPT. And what I did was I just put in here, please rewrite these sentences for me in a different voice. And I pasted all of those in here. And if you've never used Chat GPT, it's free and it's fun. At the end of the day, you might get to a limit, but it takes a lot to get to a limit if you're just doing text things on Chat GPT. So now I'm going to look at these. Even with trust, it's wise to keep certain things private. Okay. Building something meaningful often comes with criticism. Embrace it. Your mental well being matters far more than any career ever could. True power emerges when you understand you can succeed on your own. Like, wait, are these exactly the same? To keep, why didn't ChatGPT rewrite for me? Okay, how about restate these for me? I've never had it do that to just give me back exactly what I said. To create something by don't waste energy worrying about what's on beyond your control. Okay, I'm like, what part is it not changing? Because I feel like it's not changing these. Okay, don't waste your time. Don't waste energy worrying about what's beyond your control. No matter the circumstances, happiness is always within your reach. You can choose to be happy. Life won't always follow your plan. Adaptability is key. It's okay if others don't like you. Many people struggle with self-acceptance. So looking through, I guess they have changed them slightly. So I'm going to copy what it gave me. So this little button here, that just copies everything that it just wrote. And then I'm going to put those in a new file. I think I'll open a document so I can just save those. I'll just open a Google Doc and put them all in there. Let me get a new one ready. Don't want everybody to have to see all my homework. Okay, so I'm going to copy that, and then I'm also going to copy the other one that it did, and then we can look at them together. Okay, so I was just pasting those over there. Now I'll share with you where I pasted those. All right. All right, so let's look at these and see which ones we like. And if anybody's here and wants to chime in on which ones they like, please do. Okay, even with trust, some things are best kept to yourself. It's wise to keep certain things private. Okay, I guess it did change them slightly. Building something meaningful often comes with criticism. To create something valuable, prepare to face criticism. Okay, I like number one at the top. Prioritizing your mental health is far more important than your career. Matters far. Okay, I think I like number two there. You become unstoppable when you recognize your ability to succeed on your own. True power emerges when you. Yeah, okay, I don't like this one so much. But I like the one at the bottom, so that works. Except that that not everyone will like you. Yeah, I like that one better up at the top. I suspect it's early and everyone's asleep. I was thinking maybe James Steele would be around. Hey, James, if you're listening, I got your email and I will reply because I always have time for my friends, and that is the truth. I definitely make time for my friends. Don't waste energy worrying about what's beyond your control. Let go of stress over things you can't control. It's not worth your energy. That's true. Okay. And what I'm doing with these is we're going to make a journal, and I made a junk journal this weekend at my craft retreat, and it was the first time I've ever made a junk journal, and it was so much fun. So basically you just start with a plain journal. I went to the Dollar Tree. I got 2 journals for $1.25, and you paste in all kinds of different papers and cardstocks and ephemera and little quotes and things, anything you want, and they get really big and chunky, and it's so much fun. So I want to do that with I want to start with these for my next junk journal. So I just wanted to get them in a way that I like them. Plans don't always work out. Life doesn't always follow your plans. Adaptability is key. Plans don't always work out. Stay flexible and ready to adjust. I think I like the adaptability is key one at the bottom. Happiness is a choice. I like the other one. No matter the circumstance, happiness is always within your reach. Because sometimes we are just sad. Um, you know, I think the original one said something about sadness should never be an option, but it's life. Sadness is reality at times. Okay, even with trust, some things are best kept. It's wise to keep certain things private. Some things are best kept to yourself. I almost like the original of that one better. Oh, that's not the original. I was like, what did I do with the original? I'm going to look back here and say it says, even when you trust someone, keep some things to yourself. I'm going to put that one back in here. Okay, so that means I'm going to get rid of these. I'm just showing you like what my thought process is when I do something like this, because I think it's helpful to know that when people are making things, we don't just like, bloop, we have all these great ideas and here they come. There's a lot of thought that goes into them. Okay, no matter the circumstances, happiness. Life won't always follow your plans. Adapt. You become unstoppable when you recognize your ability to succeed on your own. I don't like that one's just weird, weirdly worded. Um, Around your control. I won't like you. I won't like themselves. And I think prioritizing your mental health is far more important than any career, is how that one was originally written. And I do like that one better. I think it says better what I wanted to say. Okay. So I want to get rid of the numbers. I was seeing if there was a numbers thing in here. Bullets and numbering, there it is. And I don't want bullets or numbers. All right, let's see if I can get rid of these now. And if you've never used Google Docs, it's also free. I'm trying to show you things that you can do yourself, even if you don't have a bunch of crafting supplies or programs. Okay, so I'm going to copy all of this because I want to use that. But the other thing that I'm going to show you that I use all the time is a program that is called Silhouette Studio. Here's my Silhouette Studio to share. So if you go to silhouetteamerica.com, you can download this software free. You just come right here, the Windows 64-bit, and it is a free software. Now, it is designed to be used with a Silhouette machine, which is a lot like a Cricut machine, if you've heard of a Cricut machine. It's an electronic die cut machine, and you put things on a mat, you run it through the machine, it cuts it out. But somebody liked it. Hey, whoever was here. So the Silhouette machine is for cutting, but it's also a really powerful design program. And so what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how I use the design program. And I have it in its most basic setting. I do have I use like the full version, like the business version, which has a lot of extra bells and whistles. But there's a lot you can do in the free version. Okay, so this is Silhouette Design Studio in this version. So I'm just going to try to make this so that you can see what I'm here. Okay, that should be good. So what I have done is I copied that text from before. So I'm going to come over here. There's the letter A. And if you hover over it, it says text. I'm going to click here. Then I'm going to click on the screen. So now I have a flashing cursor. And I'm just going to hit Control V because that's a paste command. There's everything that we had from the other page. Now it's kind of hard to see it because it's just an outline because it thinks it's going to cut each of these words, but we're going to use it to print. So up here at the top, this first box, right now where it has little gray hatch marks, you can change these, and that is fill color. So you can fill these in with any color you want, and you can change it at any time. So it's not going to matter. I'm going to fill it in with black for now. So the first one is fill in. The second one is outline. But the outline is going to show you where it would cut if you were cutting this. So you can turn that off. And then you just have black text. Or if you're like, I kind of like an outline. I'm going to put the red back. And then over here, I'm going to change this 0. Because see, it says 0.00 point. And so then you can just up this number and it will make that outline bigger as you go. So it's kind of fun that you can play around with your text and how you want it to look. So a world of things you can do in there. We're gonna stop right there for now because I don't want to show you too many things that you're like, whoa, I could do all that stuff, because then you'll just spend all day messing with your fonts. Which is the other thing you can do. You can come over here on the right-hand side, open the text style panel. You can also do that from up here where it says panels. You can do text style. And when you're here, whatever fonts are on your computer, you can use. So I'm going to take off this red because I really don't want a red border around my black letters right now. Oh, do you want to? I'm not closing it, you silly thing. Okay, so I'm going to click back on my letters, and then I'm going to turn this to clear. Okay, there we go. So then you can see what your letters would really look like, and those are really pretty. That was just, what's this called? Antara script, and it must be something I have on my computer. So I have a lot of them. Okay, so then I'm going to click the text again, and right now you can see it's set at 72 point for the font size, and that's huge. So click here, and then let's choose something manageable while we work with this text. I'm going to go like 14. Oh, much better. 14 is much better. Okay, so we've got a manageable size, but now you're like, okay, this text is really wide. The white here shows an 8.5 by 11 paper because That's what we'll use. So you don't want to do this. Do not drag this to make it fit, because then you took all your letters and you scrunched them together. Okay. Now what we want to do. So you click in here, double click inside of your text. Then you have this blue bar. And if you move this, then the text is actually going to move and flow. So it's not going to just scrunch it to make it fit into that little tiny space that you have. Okay. We can zoom in on what we're doing. So I'm going to zoom up a little here so you can see. And then you've got your scroll buttons down here at the bottom. Okay. So let's go in and put some line returns so we can see where each one of our different things starts and stops. So you get there, no matter, life. Yeah, I wanted to do this morning because I enjoy crafting and I love teaching people how to use Design Studio because it's one of my favorite programs. And I have class all day today. I started class again last night. So this is going to be my, my little me time for today. All right, so we've got all of our different things here. And what I am thinking is that I'm going to use these on a page that's going to be about a 4x6. I'm trying to zoom back out so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so I've got all of my sayings here and they are ready. So I'm going to go up here to the left and I'm going to open a new tab or a new page. Okay, and then you have a box right here, drawing tool. So you can choose any shape you want. These are kind of fun. You want ovals. This one gets really big really fast. You want a pentagon? 1, 2, 3, 4. A pentagon. To make sure it was a pentagon. You want a rectangle with rounded corners. Any of those things that you want. I'm going to back up because I don't want any of those. I want a square. So I'm going to choose a square and I'm going to put it here. Okay. And I just did that for a second so that you can see the numbers here. So I'm going to unlock my square. And then here I want it to be 4 inches wide. And I want it to be 6 inches tall. Okay. So now that we have it the right size, you're like, okay, well, I have a square. That's great. Thanks. So what are we going to do with this? Well, it's a rectangle. What are we going to do with this rectangle? Well, you can do a couple things with this rectangle. First, choose it. And then, just like the font, you can put a color inside of it. You can put a border around it. You can change the size of the border that you put around it. Okay? Just the simple basic things that you can do with your square or your rectangle. Okay, but you can also come over here to the right. And there is something that looks, you can close this box. It looks like a little paint palette. So click this. Hey, Nancy. Good morning. Good morning. You're probably out walking around in this cold and snow, and I'm in here playing on my computer. So here you can just, this is where you can see all the different colors, and you can choose a color. And so maybe you're like, well, I like this dark one, but it's too dark. There's transparency here, and you can move this and see how you can start to see the grid lines under the box. Yeah. So when you print it, if you want it to be really dark, or if you just want the same color but a lighter shade, you can do that. And the second box is a gradient. So you choose your color. Oh, it's still dark. Yeah, I guess it is dark. I've been up so long, I forgot that it's dark out. So this will just give you gradients of color. And you can come in here and you can put a new line. So you can change how much of the dark you have versus how much of the light you have in these gradients. And there's all kinds of these that come. And this all comes with the free software. This isn't anything you have to buy. You just download this free software and you've got all the basics. It's really fun if you enjoy color and like composition and just trying to figure out exactly what you want. And so I kind of like this one. I think I'm going to go with this for this one. And now I want another box, the same size, and I don't want to have to redraw it. I don't want to have to redo it. So I'm going to go in here, and over on the right-hand side, it says Open the Replicate panel. So I'm going to open this, and this, you can make more of something. So I have a box I like. I want another box. I want another box. I want another box. However you want to do that. Let's back up. Maybe you have this box, but you want one going the other way. So you can just hit duplicate, or I want a bunch of them. So not so necessary when you're making boxes, but when you are designing small elements and you want to fill a sheet, it's really nice for that. Okay, but let's do this. All right, so another option over here on the paint palette is this one that looks like it has a little pattern, and it says fill pattern. And so there are some basic patterns that come with the program, and you can choose one of these to fill the box. And I already have the transparency set to 20, so see how it kind of mimics the look of this one already? You can change it if you don't like that. You want this one solid. I kind of liked how this one looked at the 20%. You can also come down here to scale, and you can scale the pattern itself. So you're like, oh, I don't want it that big. I can't really tell what it is. We'll just slide this over so you can get all the details. And these patterns repeat. So if you look closely, you can kind of see like, oh, that's where it's starting again. But most of them flow pretty nicely together. Okay. Maybe you want to change your pattern. I don't want it that way. I want it this way. So just so many options in here. You want it a little offset, you can change the angle of your pattern too. Okay, another fun thing is if you have if you have a pattern, like I went to the internet, I'll just show you what I did here. Sharing my little screen here with you. Wood grain. Okay, this is what I did. So I went and I opened a new tab and I typed in wood grain pattern. And so then you get all these patterns. So I clicked on one I liked here. And I just right-clicked it and I said save image. All right, so white American ash. There we go. Save that image. And then it comes back to my design studio. I lost my design studio. Oh, there it is. There are too many tabs open. Okay, so I want another box. I'm going to do replicate again. Open one below. Okay, and so for this one, I'm like, I want to use that pattern that I just saved. So I think this time I have to show my whole screen in order to show you how to do this one. I need to get, this is a bit clunky, but it's okay. It's going to work. Okay. I have a software that lets me do this, but it wasn't working. So I'm like, I'll just show you on here. Okay. Hold on a second. I need to move my YouTube screen over so I don't show all of that. Okay, now I can share this. Okay, so this is the folder where all my downloads are. So you can see the white ash right here. I've got this box selected in my Silhouette Studio. I just take this and I drop it in there. And then that pattern is in there. And now I can use it exactly the same way that I was using the other things. I can change the transparency. I could rotate it, shift it however I wanted. Like it's my wood floor and I want it to be the other direction. There you go. All right. So that's good. That's what I wanted you to see how to do that. Okay. I moved my thing to the other screen. So now it looks like I'm not looking. Let me move it back. Yep. So this is silhouetteamerica.com, and that's where you can download the basic free version of Silhouette Studio. There are paid versions, but you can probably do anything that you want to do in the free version until you get a Silhouette machine and you actually want to start cutting, and that's where you'd want the paid version. Okay, so we have a couple of different boxes, and remember the intention here was that we were going to take these phrases and put in the boxes. So we're not going to want this one because you're not going to be able to see it. All right, so let's take one of these. Let's come back over here. Let's get one of these. Double click in this box. Highlight the text just by clicking and dragging. I'm going to cut it out. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to right click and I'm going to paste it. And it went back to that font that we didn't care for. So we'll do this again. We'll come over here to the text style panel. We did the Antara. And let's do about 18 this time. We're going to come up here to the top because we want to fill it with black. Okay, let's grab our little font. And remember, we are not going to just drag this box because it'll make it weird. So double click in the box, grab the blue, and see how it adjusts that. That is exactly what we want. So then we're going to move that up. But I want this to be centered. I don't want my text left justified. So I come back over here to the text style box. And then down here, you've got your left, center, right, justify. So I'm going to do center. We're going to put that right in the middle. And the reason it has the red is because it's still trying to do an outline. So I'm going to put that into black. And it's still small and not exactly what I want. I'm going to move these out of my way. Building something meaningful often comes with criticism. Embrace it. So I want to make that its own line at the bottom. And let's zoom up a little because it's a little hard to read still. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Ah, there we go. That's much better. Okay. So from here, if you printed this, this is exactly what it's going to print. You obviously won't see the grid lines because that's part of the mat that is underneath. But you can also add things here. So if there are other things that you want to add, you can get things in the Silhouette library. And every week they have some things that are free. So I don't know what's free this week, but let's look at some of these cute little flowers. Maybe add some flowers to our page. Now I need to zoom back out. All right, and so these flowers are made so that they use the sketch pen. So you can put a pen in your machine, and instead of it cutting, it actually it draws. Somebody said the other day, it's like an old school plotter. I'm like, oh, I guess it is kind of like an old school plotter. But anyway, it's fun. It's fun to watch it draw. So the lines here are red. We don't want to fill this with color because I'll show you what happens. It's not very attractive because it's trying to find a place where the lines close. And so it's trying to fill it. So you don't want to fill if you're doing something like a sketch, but we do want to change the color of the line. So I'm going to change it, and it's at 0.00. So you can see it, but if you go to print this, it won't print. So you have to at least give it a little bit of depth. So we're going to go 0.5. And then click on the image, grab one of these corners, just point at it, hold your left mouse button down and drag it. And then you can put that there on your screen. Good morning, Marla. Nice to see you. Talking about Silhouette Design Studio this morning. I used this to design a lot of my projects. Okay, so I like that, but now I think this font size or this line size might be a little too big. So I'm going to take it down. Okay, so I like this. And then if you don't really like where your text is, you can move it. Oh, this also. If I'm going to go across holding my left mouse button down, and that selects the box and the box with the text. And then I can come over here, open the transform panel, and you can center, align center. So that takes your text box and it puts it perfectly in the middle of your design box. And I was sharing that this software is a totally free software, Marla. It's called Silhouette Design Studio, and you can get it at silhouetteamerica.com, but it is great for designing things. So we took some text from a meme, put it in ChatGPT, had it change it a little bit, just to make it sound a little different. The one that was written was, it wasn't the best. It had been translated from something and it was missing some words. So I translated it. We brought it into this Silhouette program, changed the fonts, made everything look pretty. Then they showed how to make the box. and to decorate it because I want to put these in a junk journal. I made my first junk journal this weekend and it was so much fun. I was like, I need to make more junk journals. So that's what I'm working on now. So I'm going to take the box again. Actually, I'm going to left click. I'm going to select the box and the text. Come back over here to this button that said open the replicate panel. And I'm going to duplicate that over and down and across. So now I already have my boxes that I can work with and I don't have to start from scratch every time. So I want to change this box because in a junk journal, you just use all kinds of things, anything that you find that is pretty that you like to use. So I think we'll go back to the internet and we will find another fun pattern that we can use. Yeah, let's do this again. So last time we chose a wood grain pattern. Let's see. I want some spring flowers in a field. Ooh, this one's really pretty. So choose a picture you like, right click on it, save the image. All right, so we've got that one. So then we'll go back to Design Studio. And I will grab that picture of the flowers that we just downloaded. And all you do is you take it from where you found it in your download folder and you just drag it over and you drop it right on top of that box. And so now we can't see our letters, but that's okay. We'll get them back. So the background, we're going to go up here to the fill panel and we are going to change the transparency on this because it's pretty, but it's not going to allow us to see our letters. And so as you move that, see how you can still see the image, but it's not as overpowering. So we're going to put that there. We'll go back to our first tab. We'll get our next saying. And these were all, I think it was called 8 sentences I wish I'd read earlier in life or something like that. And I liked some of them. Some of them I thought were a little hokey, but I liked most of them. All right, so we want to get, he was just wanting to get the box. All right, so if it's doing that to you, click on the box, right click, and do send to back. So that way, when you click here, you're going to get, look at that. This is being naughty. All right, we're going to move you. We'll move you and we'll come back to you. Okay, so let's do this. Double click here. We're going to take out this text and we're going to put in the text that we have. And it is too small. So we're going to come over here to the font. And we're going to change the size. It looks like that's going to be good. So that's a really good big size. But because we have such a busy background, I want my font to stand out more. So I'm actually going to choose a different font this time. So you can scroll through your list, and your list of fonts will be populated by whatever you have on your computer. If you want to buy fonts, the Silhouette store has anything in the world you can imagine you'd ever want. And I have been a Silhouette user for, I don't know, almost as long as Silhouette has been making Silhouette products. So I have a ton of things, but don't let that intimidate you, all the choices I have, because you can work with just a few choices of fonts that you really like. I'm trying to look for something that's a little more bold, easier to read, but not so boring. And like, this is a cute font, but it's not cute for what we're doing. You obviously don't want a Candyland font when you're doing that. So take into consideration, like, this is like for an adult and it's like an inspirational kind of thing. So yeah, just be wise in your choices. Just because it's cute doesn't mean it works for this project. This one is called Chiller. It's like a serial killer font. also not what you want. It does. It is very similar to Publisher or to the same commands that you use in Microsoft Word, Office, any of those products. Publisher. I used to love Publisher. I was a church secretary and I used Publisher for years when it was a new program. And it was so much fun. I loved that program. But yeah, very much the same. Okay, so like this one would be better because it's a much darker font. Some of the fonts will have the option to bold them, but some of them won't. So like that font, you can't even see whatever it was I chose for that one. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, so I like it, but it's not big enough now because I changed the font. So let's just change the size. All right, and then we're gonna need to move it up. And the same thing, do not grab the sides and move it because they will just distort your font. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you double click in your font, this blue bar, drag it across, and then that's how, you change how much space you have. Okay, and I want this to be centered. So I've already got the centered mark here. But then I want the text in the background box to be centered together. So I'm going to come over here, and this is the transform panel. So I want horizontal centering of both, and I want vertical centering. So now my design is where I want it. So now I have two totally different things, but using basically the same steps to get there. All right, let's look at another one. We need another background here. Trying to think of something a little different we could do with this background. I can just go here to my library of all my silhouette things, file types. I'm going to unselect everything, and then I'm just going to choose a printable pattern. And so now I have all of these great choices of things. I must be thinking about spring today. Let's do these tulips. So it put a big picture of it here, which I don't want. So I just right click and delete that one. But it did fill in the square down here, which is what I wanted, or the rectangle. So let's go over here and get another one of these little sayings. Copy that. We go back here. And let's just delete this text and put our text in here. It says, let go of stress. Come on. All right, let's change it to a font that we can actually see. Back to the font panel. I like Amy Law, but apparently it doesn't show up. All right, let's choose something better here. I don't want to scroll through all of those again. Let's be a little faster. GG font. That's what my grandbaby calls me, GG, because when he was a baby and he would come over, he would always leave with glitter. He would leave with glitter on him somewhere. I don't know how that happened. And so I said I was the GG. I was the glitter grandma. So he's coming over tonight. I'm excited. See his cute little face. He's 2. He's adorable. All right. So obviously 60 is going to be way too large. And let's try about 36. Oh, okay. There we go. That's much better. Let go of stress. Let's try to change where the lines are on this. Let go of stress over things beyond your control. It's not worth your energy. Oh, isn't that true? Yeah, if it's beyond your control, let go of it. You can't do anything about it anyway. Not always the easiest thing to do. It's easy to say, but it's not always easy to do. All right, so I like to make sure I've got enough space here to make it look like I want it to look. All right, so we're going to left click, select both of those, come over here to the transform panel, line it up horizontally, line it up vertically, and then we have this all ready to go. Okay. Yeah, so that's how I do this part. And I would just keep going for all 8 of those, and then I would print them, and I would cut them out and use them in the junk journal. And if you don't, maybe you don't have a color printer. I have a color printer because I print everything. What you can do is you can also lay out these designs, and then you can take a piece of pattern paper and you can tape it Yeah, so like if you have a black and white printer, you could tape it to a white piece of paper along the top, however your paper feeds in, and then it would print these things on the pattern paper. So you don't have to have a color printer to do this as well. So there's lots of workarounds, and one day I'll show you how to do that when I have my camera set up over there. But for today, I do not have my camera set up over there. So that is Silhouette Studio, and it is so much fun. So if you like something, if you like playing with the computer and trying different things, I encourage you to just download this program and try it, because everything that I have shown you they're all things that you can do in the free version. There are a lot of things you can do in the paid version that are different, but you don't have to. You can just use the free version. Even if you don't own a silhouette cutting machine and you never intend to own a silhouette cutting machine, you can still design with it. So, yeah, I hope that was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing a little bit of the process of what I do when I'm designing digitally, because I do a lot of that. And my friend Richard, who used to make digital designs, and he took some time off to go back to school, he posted something last week that he's back, and he's from the sneak peek, I'm guessing he's putting out some kind of digital file kit about the movie Wicked. And with that will come some great tutorials, which I'm super excited about because I have missed Richard and his creativity. He has wonderful ideas, and I really have missed him. So even though I haven't seen Wicked, probably won't see Wicked. I don't know. I don't have time right now for movies. Um, Yay, thanks, Nancy. I am really excited to see what Richard has up his sleeves for that. And so off chance that you'll be seeing some of his designs coming soon. So thank you for joining me this morning. Now I'm going to go hit the textbooks where I will spend most of my day. So don't forget, Natalie's doing a recap today and the members only this afternoon. So I will see you at the members only. I will not see you at the recap, but I'm sure you can see Nancy there. Everybody have a great day.